Now a certain man was sick, Lazarus from Bethany, the village of Mary and her sister Martha. This was the Mary who anointed the Lord with fragrant oil and wiped his feet with her hair. Her brother Lazarus was sick. So the sisters sent word to Jesus, "Lord, the one you love is sick." When Jesus heard this, he said, "This sickness will not end in death. It is for God's glory, so that God's Son may be glorified through it." Now Jesus loved Martha, her sister, and Lazarus. So when he heard that Lazarus was sick, he stayed 2 more days in the place where he was. Then after this he said to the disciples, "Let us go to Judea again." The disciples said to him, "Rabbi, just now the Judean authorities were trying to stone you, and you are going there again?" Jesus answered, "Aren't there 12 hours in the day? If someone walks during the day, he does not stumble because he sees the light of this world. But if someone walks during the night, he stumbles because the light is not in him." After saying these things, he told them, "Our friend Lazarus has fallen asleep, but I am going so that I may wake him up." So the disciples said to him, "Lord, if he has fallen asleep, he will recover." Jesus had been speaking about his death, but they thought he meant ordinary sleep. Then Jesus told them plainly, "Lazarus has died, and for your sake I am glad I was not there, so that you may trust. But let us go to him." Then Thomas, the one called Twin, said to the other disciples, "Let us go too, so that we may die with him." When Jesus arrived, he found that Lazarus had already been in the tomb for 4 days. Bethany was near Jerusalem, about 2 miles away, and many of the Judeans had come to Martha and Mary to comfort them about their brother. When Martha heard that Jesus was coming, she went to meet him, but Mary stayed seated in the house. Martha said to Jesus, "Lord, if you had been here, my brother would not have died. But even now I know that whatever you ask God for, God will give you." Jesus said to her, "Your brother will rise." Martha said to him, "I know that he will rise in the resurrection on the last day." Jesus said to her, "I am the resurrection and the life. The one who trusts in me will live, even if he dies, and everyone who lives and trusts in me will never die forever. Do you trust this?" She said to him, "Yes, Lord. I have come to trust that you are the Messiah, God's Son, the one coming into the world." After saying this, she went away and called Mary, her sister, privately, saying, "The teacher is here and is calling for you." When Mary heard this, she got up quickly and went to him. Jesus had not yet come into the village, but was still in the place where Martha had met him. The Judeans who were with Mary in the house comforting her saw that she got up quickly and went out, so they followed her, thinking, "She is going to the tomb to weep there." When Mary came to where Jesus was and saw him, she fell at his feet and said to him, "Lord, if you had been here, my brother would not have died." When Jesus saw her weeping, and the Judeans who had come with her weeping, he was deeply disturbed in his spirit and greatly troubled. He said, "Where have you laid him?" They said to him, "Lord, come and see." So the Judeans said, "Look how much he loved him." But some of them said, "Couldn't this man, who opened the eyes of the blind man, also have kept this man from dying?" Then Jesus, deeply disturbed again within himself, came to the tomb. It was a cave, and a stone was lying against it. Jesus said, "Take away the stone." Martha, the sister of the dead man, said to him, "Lord, by now there will be an odor, because it is the 4th day." Jesus said to her, "Didn't I tell you that if you trusted, you would see God's glory?" So they took away the stone. Jesus lifted up his eyes and said, "Father, I thank you that you have heard me. I knew that you always hear me, but I said this because of the crowd standing around, so that they may trust that you sent me." After saying this, he cried out with a loud voice, "Lazarus, come out!" The dead man came out, his feet and hands bound with strips of cloth, and his face wrapped with a cloth. Jesus said to them, "Unbind him and let him go." Many of the Judeans who had come to Mary and had seen what Jesus did trusted in him. But some of them went away to the Pharisees and told them what Jesus had done. So the chief priests and the Pharisees gathered the council and said, "What are we doing? This man is doing many signs. If we let him go on like this, everyone will trust in him, and the Romans will come and take away both our place and our nation." But one of them, Caiaphas, who was high priest that year, said to them, "You know nothing at all. You are not considering that it is better for you that one man should die for the people, rather than the whole nation be destroyed." He did not say this on his own. Instead, since he was high priest that year, he prophesied that Jesus was about to die for the nation, and not for the nation only, but also to gather into one the scattered children of God. So from that day on, they planned to kill him. Therefore, Jesus no longer walked around openly among the Judeans. Instead, he went away from there to the region near the wilderness, to a town called Ephraim, and he stayed there with the disciples. Now the Judean Passover was near, and many people went up from the countryside to Jerusalem before the Passover to purify themselves. They were looking for Jesus and saying to one another as they stood in the temple courts, "What do you think? Surely he will not come to the festival, will he?" Now the chief priests and the Pharisees had given orders that if anyone knew where he was, that person should report it so they could arrest him.